Hey Beardbrand, it's Mahesh here, back on Mahesh's Mondays, and welcome along. Today we're going to talk a little bit about going shorter with the beard. So guys, you may have noticed that I have actually cut my beard just a bit shorter. I actually did this the other week with Dave Banks at the Gentlemen and Rogues Club. He volunteered. No one else in the barbershop wanted to do it. And so he went ahead and cut my beard for me. And when I got back from doing my stint out in Austin, Texas, I decided that I would have a little bit of a change. And I decided when I got home, I would go for a sort of thicker, fuller beard. Now, when you have a longer beard, you generally don't, unless you're really fortunate, you generally don't get that that really heavy density. So I'm just going to pop up a little picture here of me with a longer beard. And you'll notice that on the longer beard, there's a section of it that looks quite sort of transparent almost, that, you know, it's starting to be more of a wispier sort of texture on the ends, and it doesn't look as thick as this does. I mean, this is super thick, this beard now, and I'm really happy with the shape and I'm really happy with the length of it. Not to say that I'm not going to grow it back out, because to be honest, I'm quite a lazy person in the sense that I'll have a beard trim and I will leave it, and I don't practice what I preach, I'm afraid, guys, because I'm stood behind the chair as opposed to sitting in the chair. And when you're stood behind the chair for 11 hours at a time in the barbershop, you generally don't get the opportunity at the end of the day at 8 p.m. when everyone's been there for 11 hours. You don't get a massive hands up when I say, oh, who wants to cut my beard, and spend 25 minutes cutting my beard. So I tend to go weeks and weeks without actually cutting it or trimming it. And so that's how it sort of gets that length in some ways. Sometimes it's not because I plan on that, it's just because I just don't get around to trimming it up. But one of the reasons that I decided to have a bit of a reshape was it was getting dry and brittle on the ends. And even with good quality products such as the Beardbrand range, I really was feeling that it was feeling hard and dry, and I wasn't getting the best out of my beard. And I think this is what you have to decide is, you know, are you going for the length just because it's long, regardless of what it looks like, or are you going for good quality, high condition beard? Now, if you're going for a high condition, good quality beard, then sometimes you have to sacrifice some of the length. Unless you're very lucky and the density of your beard is really thick all the way down for quite some length, then you are going to get that wispiness to it. And that's what I started to feel like. And I looked back on some of the footage from me in Austin, and I thought, do you know what? It was fine, but it wasn't looking at its tip top, and I was a little bit concerned that you know, I wasn't really looking after it enough. So it was time to just take a bit back. So I took about that much off of it, and it felt drastic. And actually, when I first had it done, it didn't sit right for about a week. It's only just started to sit into the sort of shape that it's been cut into. And Dave has done a really good job with the shape that I wanted. But what you have to be mindful of is that it's almost like the hair goes into shock, and it just sort of stands out on end when you have it cut like that sometimes, especially when you cut quite a lot off. So be prepared for that if you are thinking about having a little change. And, you know, sometimes moving in towards the summer, because I'm in April 2018 now. So, you know, we're starting to move into our summer here in the UK. When I was out in Austin, it was very warm as well. And I was very mindful of the fact that actually it'd be nice to have a little bit of air that runs across my neck. So I want to get back to doing a little bit of running again. And when I run, it just parts in the middle. So I thought, do you know, maybe having a bit of a beard trim would be the way forward. And the other side of it was that I didn't want to really, I didn't really want to be identified purely as a man with a long beard. That's not who I am. That's just what I have on my face. And I think there's that as well. There's that key element to sort of recognizing that, you know, you're a man with a beard, but that isn't who you are. And, you know, it's about your identification, is how you identify with yourself, you know, and, you know, I'm much more than just a man who can grow a white beard. So, and you have to be mindful of that yourself, you know, and look at yourself and go, is this all who I am? And the answer should most 100% definitely be no. That isn't all who you are. You are not just a man with a beard. You are much more than that. And so you have to remember to disassociate yourself with just the way that you look and more edge towards how you feel. Now, you may feel more confident because you've got a big beard and it makes you feel more important or more manly, or it makes you stand out from a crowd, and that's what you're looking for. But the key thing is that there are other aspects to your life that should make you do that. And it's maybe unpacking those things and having a little look at yourself just to check in with yourself and go, do you know what? Am I all about this? Is this all I'm all about? And if the answer is yes, then sit with yourself and think, actually, there is more to me than just a big beard. So, and that's when I got back off the trip from good old Austin, I thought maybe I'll just have a little bit of a change. Now, I did think about going even shorter, but my wife Bhavani, she likes it. My children like it, and actually the majority of people at work were like, oh, don't, that's who you are. So unless I intend on robbing a bank, I probably won't take it off completely. But I'm going to grow out the moustache a bit more if I can, and see how much more I can get out of that, and maybe accentuate the moustache a little bit. But for now, I just wanted to touch on just a couple of things with you. So let's recap. Let's think about what we talked about here. So if you're growing a beard out, be very mindful of the condition. Length isn't always best. Think about the condition over the length. And then fourthly, consider, are you associating yourself only with this bit of hair that sticks to the front of your face? Are you only being the beard? Or are you being a man with a beard? A couple of things to think about. A couple of tips there for you, I hope. And be well and look after yourself and take care. This is Mahesh, the Beardbrand.
Beardbrand is a premium men's grooming company with products not only for your beard, but also your hair and body. Do yourself a favor and head over to beardbrand.com and take care of yourself. Or you can stick around and watch a few more of our awesome videos.